from the old version of this deck where you were playing 0 drops into Tibalt's Trickery, trying to Trickery into something big. That deck had a couple problems, namely if you cast Trickery on your 0 drop, you had a chance of hitting 0 drops in your deck. So you wanted to run enough 0 drops that you could cast one, you'd have one in your opening hand, cast it, and then Tibalt's Trickery on turn 2, but to have enough in your hand, or enough in your deck to make it likely that you'd have that combination of cards in your opening hand, you had to run a whole bunch of bad cards that were bad hits for Trickery. So with Jumpstart Historic Horizons, I think it's called, whatever the new Jumpstart set is on Arena, we got Throes of Chaos. I personally love this card. It got me day 2 of a limited Grand Prix for Modern Horizons. Card's great. Does nothing, but it's great. For 4 mana, it's a sorcery, and it has Cascade and Retrace. It doesn't do anything else. Basically, all it does is you cast it, and it cascades, and then Retrace is kind of an old keyword where if it's in your graveyard, you can discard a land and pay its mana cost, and you can cast it from your graveyard. So Throes of Chaos, you pay 4 mana, you cascade, and then it goes to your graveyard where you can use it again at some point. So what the deck's looking to do is get to 4 mana to cast Throes of Chaos. Throes of Chaos is going to cascade. As you can see here, the only cards in the deck that have a reasonable mana cost are Throes of Chaos and Tibalt's Trickery. So we're going to cascade into a spell that costs less than Throes of Chaos. The only target is Tibalt's Trickery. So it's going to cast a Tibalt's Trickery. You're going to put Tibalt's Trickery onto the stack. It's going to counter Throes of Chaos because at this point the cascade has already resolved and the card does absolutely nothing else. So Tibalt's Trickery is going to counter Throes, and it's going to exile cards from the top of your library until you hit a non-land card with a different name than the countered card. So this can hit anything else in the deck that's not a land or a Throes of Chaos. So the old deck used to run 4 of these, and like I said, a bunch of 0 drops to kind of make sure you had an opening hand. But that meant that Tibalt's Trickery could flip cards into another Tibalt's Trickery, which doesn't actually do anything. It fizzles. So we run a bunch of really big stuff here. And the old deck ran some big stuff too. But this deck plays a little bit different. So you Throes, Cascade into Tibalt's Trickery. Tibalt's Trickery is going to resolve and flip cards into ideally an Ugin. Not many decks in the format can handle a turn 4 Ugin, but we're not looking to turn 4 Ugin. We're looking to turn 3 Ugin, and we can do that with Magma Opus. So turn 1, we play some Scry lands here, some lands that comes into play tapped, and some cycling lands. So turn 1, we're going to play one of those comes into play tapped lands because it actually doesn't matter. We have nothing we can do on turn 1. Ideally, turn 2, we're looking to discard a Magma Opus, pay 2 mana, discard a Magma Opus to make a treasure token. That way on turn 3, we can Throes of Chaos here. If decks weren't really set up to handle a turn 4 Ugin, they're definitely not set up to handle a turn 3 Ugin. We have to run more than just that because we need the ratio of Tibalt's Trickery to targets to be kind of high. You want way more targets than Trickeries. So I have cut a Trickery. Originally this deck I only had 2 Trickeries. I upped it to 3 to try it out, and it really doesn't seem like you hit Trickery that often off of a Trickery because I play a bunch of other cards here. So Ugin is the big hit. That's what you want to see resolve off of your Tibalt's Trickery. Some of the other lists run Ulamog also. This Horizons Historic Jumpstart set was kind of taxing on my wild cards. I've been brewing some other decks too. And I didn't have wild cards for Ulamog, which is the other card that most of these decks run. I don't really think you need Ulamog. It's certainly another great hit off of this, but like Ugin's going to do the job just fine. On top of Ugin, we want to maximize the amount of Ugins that we get. So we also run Genesis Ultimatum. So if we don't hit an Ugin, we can keep going until we hit a Genesis Ultimatum, which will hopefully find us an Ugin if there's one in the top 5 cards of our library. Otherwise, it's going to put a bunch of lands into play, which will hopefully, let us hard cast Ugin, let us cast some of these other giant spells. If they're scry lands, we get to scry and try and find something big to do. The reason that we pick Magma Opus as our ramp target is because it costs 7 mana, and it also is not a bad hit off of a turn 3 Tibalt's Trickery. If you're going to cast, something huge on turn 3, it's kind of hard to come back from a Magma Opus. You're going to tap some of their lands down, you're going to make an elemental, you're going to draw a couple cards, you're going to deal 4 damage to whatever they have on the board or just their face. It's absolutely fine to kind of cascade into with Trickery. Plus, like I said, it gets to ramp us, so we get to do it a turn earlier. I also have a couple weirdo targets. Scholar of the Lost Trove, when it enters the battlefield, lets us cast a spell from our graveyard, an instant sorcery or artifact, so we can either go again with Throws or Genesis Ultimatum or Magma Opus. Plus, it's a 5/5 flying body. And I have Gear Hulk as well. If the ideal opening hand has Magma Opus and Throes of Chaos, then Gear Hulk just kind of turns into a 5/6 body with a Magma Opus stapled to it on turn 3, which is really hard for an opponent to come back from. And then, like I said, the mana base over here has some scry lands. Because we're not really doing anything on turn 1, we can afford to either scry a Trickery away, because you never want to draw a Trickery. There's only 3 in the deck, and sometimes you need to do this more than once to close a game out. So we can scry Trickeries away. If it's later in the game and like the first Trickery hasn't, ended the game yet, we can scry to find some gas, Ugin, or Ultimatum or something. So the scry lands are kind of important. The Triomes are also kind of important. The deck really needs to find Throes of Chaos. That's really all the deck does. So if we end up in a case where we don't have a Throes, we need to be able to find them. So we play the Ketria Triome because we can cycle it, and it kind of fixes our mana. If we end up having a hard cast Genesis Ultimatum, that's really hard for this deck to do. The Triomes help a lot with that. And then we run some 1-mana cyclers. Partly because of what I just mentioned for Ketria Triome, but if we mulligan aggressively, which this deck wants to do, and we don't find a Throes, chances are we're going to have some number of these cycling lands in our hand, and we can use those to help find our Throes. So if we, mulligan down to 4 cards and haven't seen a Throes of Chaos yet, we're probably going to have at least one of these cyclers, so we can play a land, cycle it, have another shot at finding Throes. The deck seems really great in best of 1. I doubt it's any good best of 3. Kind of the unique part about this deck is because we're using Throes instead of those 0 drops, the deck is pretty Thoughtseize proof. If you get hit with a turn 1 or 2 Thoughtseize, Inquisition, whatever, and they take your Throes, you can just retrace it from your graveyard. It doesn't matter if they take it or not. You will always have access to it as long as it's in your graveyard. So that's kind of nice. Again, like I said at the beginning, we also lose all the 0 drops that kind of plague this style deck and make it not as consistent. Speaking of consistency, this deck is very consistent. It almost always turns turn 4s, very frequently will turn 3. And like I said, it's really hard for an opposing deck to deal with a turn 3 or turn 4 Ugin, or a turn 3 or turn 4 Magma Opus, or a turn 3 or turn 4 Genesis Ultimatum, where you probably hit an Ugin and a bunch of lands and reload to do it again. So the deck is awesome. I'm going to record some gameplay footage, and I'll probably run it through one of the challenges just to see how we do. So a doppelganger. Alright, we don't have the ramp for the throws, but we do have a throws in our hand. We also have 2 Ugins, which aren't good. We kind of want those in the deck. This deck mulligans pretty well. I think I'm going to take a mulligan. And unfortunately, we have no throws, and we definitely don't want trickery in hand, so I'm going to mulligan again. Alright, this hand will do the trick. It's perfectly acceptable. We have some lands, we have some throws. I'm probably going to pitch a Gear Hulk and a throws, and we will do it to it. Let's go Gear Hulk, throws, and done. See what we can come up with here. Lead with that Triome. Maybe we get lucky and draw a Magnum Opus here. Nope. So I will just play a mountain and pass the turn. I'm not really sure what we're playing against over there. Let's see, Scoured Barrens. It's kind of an odd one. And a Cloister Gargoyle. Alright. Venture away, my friend. What dungeon are you going into? Lost Mine of Fendelver. Alright. Might as well cycle this away now. Ah, we drew the trickery. That's not where I want you. It's fine, we got two more. Sure. It's probably not going to matter because we're going to throws. Treasure. Alright, let's do it to it. What are we going to find? The trickery. Are we gonna get mana typed here? Magma Opus, sure. Kill this. Ping you for one. Oh, tap the treasure and that down, sure. 2, 3. Sure. Come on in, buddy. Let's retrace the throws here. Discard a land. Alright, it's important to note that we have used 2 trickeries and we have 1 in hand, so there are no more in the deck. Another Magma Opus, sure. Gain a life, go for it. Alright, venture away. Yep, come on in. Let's just go to combat. I think what I'm going to do next here is Gear Hulk on their turn. Flashback Magma Opus, kill their thing, tap their lands. Sure. Fine. Let me get back a Magma Opus here. Sure, kill my Gear Hulk. It's fine. Alright, now I can do the same thing again, which is probably fine. I can also try and hit an Ugin here. I can throws and then trickery it myself. I think I will... I think I'm just gonna go to combat here. Swing in. And pass the turn. I don't need that throws. I have no shortage of cards in hand. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, do it again. And they scoop it up. Alright, Cetria. Sertria. Nope, no throws, can't keep it. Well, throws can't keep it. Alright, we got a throws and a Magma Opus. Let's rock and roll. Hopefully we can find an untapped land. Oh, 2 cards. Ugin, see you, buddy. Yep. Swing and a miss. Let's see, is it better to... No, it's better to do this. Alright, so it looks like Grixis good stuff is the deck. Up the way, my friend. Looting 2. Yep, still no hits. treasure. We hit an untapped land. We can turn 3 throws. That's not an untapped land. Alright, we'll play it out. Also not an untapped land, but it's also a safe card, so we will draw that. By safe, I mean it's not a trickery. Don't want to draw the trickeries. Also, we're only going to use 4 mana this turn, so I can just play that as my land for turn, which I will do. And throws. Genesis Ultimatum. Let's do it. Oh, a bunch of lands. That's alright. Couple scries here. I'll scry that to the bottom. And we'll scry that to the bottom. And pass the turn. Hopefully we don't just die here and we can stabilize. I think we got a good shot at it. I think I am going to cycle one of these. We put a trickery on the bottom, so we do know that there's at least one more in there. And might as well cast one from hand. I guess we can... Ooh, we have one more trickery. Yeah, let's do it. There's Ugin. It's your time to shine, buddy. Come on in.
Strive for balance before
Don't need a mountain.
Ghost fire.
Ghost
My
fire.
greatest creation.
Yep, opt away, my friend. And the scoop. That's usually what happens once an Ugin hits the board. Alright, we got no throws, and we got a trickery in hand. This is definitely a mulligan. And no throws, mulligan. Alright, we got 3 lands, a scry, so we got another shot at finding an untapped land or a magma opus, and we got throws, so we will keep this. We're going to pitch Ugin and Gear Hulk, I guess. That Ugin on top. Oh, don't want that. Wow, this is the same person again, huh? Alrighty then. Sure, come on in, buddy. Cycle this away. Found another one. And that's turn. Expressive iteration. Dragon Rage Channeler. Sure. Hidden Ugin, sweep them both up. That's the plan at least, right? Didn't come here to not do the thing. Might as well do the thing. Oh no! It's alright, we get to do it again next turn. Doesn't happen often. Perfect. That will do the trick.
Power
Wipe the board up real quick.
is the path of the fool. Death has never stopped me.
We got one trickery left, so.
To the essence of the multiverse.
I think I'm going to ship that just because I know it's safe. We really don't want to draw the trickery next turn. Oh no! That's alright. No, I guess it's not alright. I'm gonna go ahead and cycle this. See if we can find a green source. No, I knew that was there. That definitely wasn't a green source. I don't know why you cast that. I have actual no targets for that in my deck. Any land should turn this on, so. Should say any untapped land. Well, that's not an untapped land. And we'll leave that up. Hopefully we don't just die here. Nope. Not gonna just die here. Yeah, that's fine. Exile away, my friend. Oh, awkward. Oh, there you go. Found the line. Fine. We're gonna Ugin now. Clean it all up.
Accept a lesser world.
Go ahead and neg 3 real quick.
You grow lost to history.
We got 3 Magma Opus in hand. Sure. 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 Yep, scooped it up. Nap Bolt. No throws, we'll ship it. No throws. Yeah, we can work with this. We got 2 scry lands. Absolutely. We'll ship the Hulk and a land. We got a scry to try and hit an Opus. Not an Opus. Alright, do your worst, opponent. I mean, it's a safe card, but I don't think we're going to cast it anytime soon. And we'll leave it up because it's safe. Ooh, opponent's on the same plan as we are. Oh, there we go. Oh, opponent's not on the same plan we are. Opponent's on Gear Hulk, I think. Gear Hulk Opus. We are on Throws Opus. I know they got counter magic, but we only do one thing, so there's really no playing around a counter spell. And they're gonna need counter magic for the next like 3 turns in a row, so. Now, I do know they have Gear Hulk here. So, I think I'm going to make them use the Gear Hulk on their Magma Opus instead of the Ionize. So I'm going to cycle this and try and find a green source to hardcast the Ultimatum. Looking for a green source. Still looking for a green source. No green source. Let's go for a second red then. Ooh, that's not a Gear Hulk. That's not a Gear Hulk.
Choose wisely. Think you can beat me? You're welcome to try.
Yes, I would like to resolve Ugin. I said I want to resolve Ugin. There we go. And
The
65.
axiomatic structure of reality is surprisingly flexible.
Sure.
My research has concluded.
Not what I expected. That's why it's called a theory.
Return to the essence of the multiverse.
We have one trickery left. We go for it? Sure. Ooh, spicy. And here comes the Gear Hulk. Oh, no Gear Hulk. All right. They must not have it. Another memory lapse. That's fine. Hope you got some more. Well, they found something they liked. The Mizzix Mastery. I'm gonna Opus on their turn. Oh, I don't have enough for Opus, do I? 3, 6, 7? Oh, man. I can make a treasure and then Gear Hulk, though. Deck is kind of just all of the haymakers. What you doing there, opponent? We'll tap the 2 fancy lands. Sure. Ultimatum. Ooh, another memory lapse. Alright, opponent, you got 1 card left. I hope it beats a ultimatum. Well, that's something. Finds Mizzix Mastery. Oh, can't. Oh, yeah, I can. Yep. Digging for that counterspell. Not a counterspell. Oh, I should have made a treasure in response. Oh well. Go ahead and Opus. Yep, that's fine. Alright, I will do 4 to the face. I will tap this and your hull. Oh, you can cast it. Oh, that's game. No, it's not. I think we have to save up Opus here. Do the same thing again next turn. No! That's awkward. Yep. And that'll do it. Well, picked up our first loss. Alright, so no throws in the 7. So let's go ahead and mulligan that. Still got no throws. Wow, still no throws. Alright, well, I think we're going to have to keep this one. It's going to be awkward, but... I think I'm actually going to pitch the Triome here and just hope that we hit another... We're going to have to hit another land anyway. And this will give me the best option of doing it turn 3. So, let's hope we hit a land. And there's our land. Sure thing, buddy. Come on in. All your guys are going to die in a minute. Spin the wheel. What do we hit? Oh, awkward. Well, if we draw land, we can do it again next turn. And, of course, it's not a land. Let's hope I'm not just dead here. Whew. Gonna come close to just being dead here. Ugin's gonna be real good, though. Oh, I need a land, though. Come on, land. That's not a land. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pack it in. They got us. We got a Throws and an Opus. We'll keep it. Better than a sharp stick in the eye, and we get to do it again next turn. Trickery targeting Throws. And what are we gonna hit this time? Genesis Ultimatum, sweet. Landon and Ugin, I'll take it.
The axiomatic structure
And we'll
of
bolt
reality
the thing.
is surprisingly flexible.
Opus and Throws. Unfortunately, we have a whole bunch of tapped lands. So we're gonna have to do something about that, but we'll give it a shot here. Hopefully we can scry into some untapped lands. There's one. And hope to top deck another untapped land. Nope, that's alright. We'll scry. Let's do the thing. We didn't come here to not cast Throws. Sure thing. Your Hulk Flashback Opus. Sounds good. We'll tap their enchantment, because we can. Two there, two there. Alright. Play our land for turn. And that's us. Oh, no. Yeah, there we go. Let's do this correctly. We're probably not going to kill that anyway, so we're just going to dome them. Tap these two things. Player land. We'll keep the island. And attack. Alright. Good luck there, opponent. Ooh, Baneslayer Angel. Oh no, no more trickeries? Well, that's awkward. Guess we're just coming in with a Gear Hulk. Man, they're gonna gain a lot of life. I need 2 more lands to cast an Ugin. They might have this one. This might be our last game. We can Ugin next turn. If we live through next turn. Oh, no we can't. We need to draw a land to Ugin next turn. Not a land. That's alright, we can flashback Opus and tap their guy. Ooh, I could ultimatum, but I only have 1 more Ugin left in the deck. I think we're gonna have to go with flashback Gear Hulk. No! It's alright. Alright, well I gotta go for Ugin this turn. Oh, and I can just cast Ugin this turn. Perfect. We will go to combat first. Play land. Make an Ugin. And then we're gonna neg 5 Ugin.
Always consider the consequences of your freedom.
I think that leaves us in a reasonable spot here.
Creation can be undone. destroy if I must. Power without wisdom.
Neg 4 Ugin here, clean the board up. And then we have a lethal Ugin next turn. Sure. Boink. Nice job, Ugin. Way to carry the team.
Perception.
We got no throws, so we're gonna ship it. Gotta have a throws. Whew. Wow, still no throws. Alright, well let's see if a molded 2 is gonna get there. Oof, not looking good. Well, just gotta find one more land, I guess. Well, that's awkward. Alright, we can throws next turn. See if we can't clean this mess up. No, don't Thoughtseize me, bro. That's awkward. Alright, an Ugin would be great here. Or a Genesis Ultimatum would be equally good. Not a trickery. Well, hope we draw a land next turn, I guess. And that's not a land. I'm pretty sure I'm dead here, but we'll give it another turn. Gotta deal an additional 3 damage to us, right? 4 damage to us. So a lot of Ugins there. That means there's not many left to hit. I think we kind of need an Ugin here. Yeah, I don't think that's going to do it. Because we don't have a Magma Opus. Yeah, that'll do it. Good job, opponent. Not too shabby. 5 and 3. The deck is pretty sweet. It got me a bunch of wins on ladder. As you can see, I have changed clothes. I'm recording the last part of this video the next day, and it seems like people have kind of wisened up to this deck, so it's not the powerhouse that it was. People do have a little bit of action for it. They're prepared for it. They know how the deck works now. You can still get some easy wins, but it's not quite as easy as it was. The deck is good for jamming a bunch of games quickly if you need to kind of grind some of your challenges or whatever. And it's kind of fun to play for a change of pace. It plays a very different game of Magic than I'm certainly used to playing, and probably a different game than you're used to playing too. It could probably use a couple more forests. There were a couple games where I needed some more green mana for the Genesis Ultimatum. Maybe split these 3 and 3. We really don't need more than 1 or 2 red mana, so I could probably shave. I guess red mana is more useful than blue mana. I don't know, I might shave like a mountain and an island, or maybe 2 islands and a mountain for some sort of green sources also. Just in case you do need to cast Genesis Ultimatum. And like I said, some of the lists are running Ulamog also, which is perfectly fine. So I hope you like this little deck tech and gameplay deal. If you want more of this content, let me know. We'll try and make that happen. If you like what you see here, make sure you check out our podcast, CasualTryHardMTG. Episodes get published here on YouTube. They're also everywhere you can find podcasts: Stitcher, SoundCloud, Podbean, Google, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find podcasts, we are. Shows come out every Thursday. We'll have some more content upcoming for Midnight Hunt. I'll be doing some box openings. I think Brian's going to do some draft videos, so they'll be going up. I have one more deck that I've been kind of working on that I might do another deck tech on. If you guys like this sort of content, let me know. Leave a comment below if you want to see some more deck techy stuff. Also, don't forget to subscribe and check us out. We'll talk to you later.